Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron B-Wing. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top we have Star Wars warning, don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. Nice background artwork of the second Death Star. Some close-up photo there of the vehicle. You can see inside there, if you can get past the glare, that you do have to assemble this somewhat. And then there's the pilot. 8-up Micro Galaxy Squadron and a nice chromed logo that usually doesn't show up well on the green screen. B-Wing Starfighter is number 0106 Jazzwares. On the bottom, attention, remove packaging ties, blah, 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 Jazzwares, and we're located there. Don't give it to babies. Some other symbols I'm not going to learn. A barcode, jazzwares.com//support. Disney, number of some kind. Star Wars on this side. Star Wars on this side. And on the back, Star Wars. And this rotates 360 degrees. The pilot does fit inside. You assemble it this way. And the wings do swing out. And here's that nice tech spec type card. Some Aurobesh. Here's the cross sail of Poe Dameron's X-Wing, the Special Forces TIE Fighter from the First Order, the V-Wing, which was used at the end of the Clone Wars, and then hologram Luke Skywalker and X-Wing, maybe? It doesn't really say, but those are the chase vehicles. I would like that one. And then Micro Galaxy Squadron here. Disney print, StarWars.com. And that, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Except I didn't say this was a Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary. Now we're done with the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and the vehicle. And here we have handy dandy tweezers. So we can take a look at this figure, and he does seem to have more paint apps than the normal Micro Galaxy Squad figure. So it does have some nice paint apps to help it kind of stand out a little bit. And it does have some nice molded details in there. You can't really see the face, but you don't see much of the face anyway on with this particular helmet. The only difference being the visor would be translucent, of course. And then those paint apps even go around to the back side. So very nice. As far as articulation goes, standard Micro Galaxy Squadron articulation. The arms rotate 360 degrees and they are connected together. And the legs are connected together as well. Nothing back, and approximately 90 degrees forward so that he's in a sitting position, or she, could be a she. It's hard to tell. Now let's take a look at the vehicle itself, and I have to say it does have nice molded details in it with a few paint apps here and there. Like paint app here, these stripes. Back of the cockpit, the engine glow, and then on the bottom we've got a paint app here, and then down here where the landing gear is. And as far as these landing gears go, they work pretty much the same, or they're placed pretty much the same as the old Kenner B-Wing. And this one, just like on the Kenner one, you know, this has a leg that comes out from the wing part. And the difference being on the old Kenner version, you know, there was a switch, and this piece would just come out. It didn't swing open like this. It just kind of extended out. So, and it just flips back in there like that. Now the cockpit, well, let's take a look at the inside. And as you can see, it's got some nice molded details in it. Not tons of stuff going on in there, no paint apps. And that's fine. You can see there's a little port right here and a little peg right here where it closes down together, and it just kind of snaps into place. I don't know if y'all could hear that on the mic or not. And it does have the rotating feature, and it's on detents. So it's not like the old Kenner one that was weighted, so that it didn't matter which way you turn, the cockpit was facing the proper orientation. But this one has detents in it, so that whenever you put it, you know, if you want to do it like that, you can do it like that and it'll stay. So that's neat. Also, the wings do manually pull out, and that one went a little too far. And you can see there's some pins right there, metal pins, to hold it in place. It's got cannons here, cannons on the ends of the wings. And overall, I have to say it's a pretty nice looking vehicle. Version of the B-Wing. And as far as the paint job goes on it, it does have a little bit of a wash on it too, which I didn't mention earlier. But this piece reminds me a lot of that old Kenner Return of the Jedi B-Wing. Well, that does it for a look at the figure and the vehicle. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Micro Galaxy Squadron B-Wing with B-Wing pilot, the Micro Galaxy Squadron Harrison Dula's A-Wing with Harrison Dula, and the Micro Galaxy Squadron TIE Interceptor with TIE pilot. For our final set of comparisons here, we have the Micro Galaxy Squadron B-Wing with B-Wing pilot with the Micro Galaxy Squadron Millennium Falcon with Han Solo and Chewbacca. For final thoughts on the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Return of the Jedi 40th Anniversary B-Wing, I have to say I am pleased with this vehicle and how much it really reminds me of that classic Kenner B-Wing that I had as a child. Well, I still have it, but you know, it has all the great features that one did. Of course, these are all manual, you know, well, those were manual too, but there's no switches on this. You can't twist one of the engine pods to make the wings spread out or close down. There's no switch to activate the landing gears, and you know, the cockpit isn't weighted so that no matter how you turn the rest of the ship, it stays level. You do have to, you know, manually turn the cockpit, and it does have detents so that it stays where you put it. But again, that being said, I love how much this really reminds me, with its features, of that classic Kenner mold for this vehicle, and I really love it. It's really great when modern toys remind you a lot of that classic vintage toy that you had as a child. And you know, the Micro Galaxy Squadron, as far as the molds and the design and stuff, they, I think, are doing a better job than Galoob did with the Action Fleet series, although there were some things about Action Fleet that I liked better than Micro Galaxy Squadron. First of all, there were no blind boxes. There were just, you know, mission packs, I think they called them. And, you know, you knew what you were getting. And if you wanted doubles, you could buy doubles. But, you know, it was, they had troop packs too, I believe. It was much easier to build up your minuscule armies or micro-sized armies in the Action Fleet line than it is in Micro Galaxy Squadron. But that being said, for the most part, I'm still really enjoying this line, and it's a good way to get some vehicles, some Star Wars vehicles in your collection without taking up a ton of space, unless you just buy a ton of them. But, you know, the paints are good, the washes are great, and, you know, the figures maybe could be a little more articulated, but they're, you know, about as articulated as you can get in this size. So, again, overall, I'm still really enjoying this line, and I hope they keep the quality up in it. I've only come across one vehicle that I was really disappointed in, and I don't know if it was the design, if it's just the copy that I have, but I'll address that when I get to that review. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I am now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.